everybody, this is Scott from the fragrance channel, Scott Aromatico, and I'm here with my good friend Al. And Al, tell everybody the name of your fragrance channel and where you're at on Instagram.
All right. Salute to everyone. Name on Instagram is AR1minute Fragrance Reviews, same as on YouTube. Go ahead and hit me up. I'll show you a couple things there.
Awesome. And I remember when I first started seeing you, I was so attracted to your positive vibes and your energy, and I loved those 1 minute fragrance reviews. I was like, man, this is cool, because I like it when somebody does something that not everybody else is doing. So, and I was like, well, after I got done watching your 1 minute reviews, I was like, jacked. I was like, we need more. I need more. I can't just do 1 minute.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Figure that some people don't have really the time to look at a 10-minute or a 15-minute review. So I just wanted to cut it down, break it down to a 1 minute review. I know it's not too much information for people. However, it'll come across, it'll get the point across to people. So, you know what I
like about it? Because there's like back before the pandemic, I was buying everything in the stores. I wasn't doing a lot of gray market shopping. Right. And so sometimes if I'm in one of the big rack stores, like Marshall's or whatever, TJ Maxx or whatever, I'm in a store, like I want to review real quick, man, that's perfect, because you don't want to wait 15 minutes to figure out if I should buy Prada Homme or whatever. I'm just throwing something out there. And your reviews are so quick. I could just like, does he like it or does he not? Oh, he thinks it's good. You know what? I'll pull the trigger or whatever. So that, I think that's kind of cool,
And that's another thing. I'm on my review channels, like especially my Instagram. You rarely hear me say something bad about a fragrance, because I don't really do fragrances that I dislike. I usually try to promote fragrances that I like. I mean, that's awesome. Kind of tends to be kind of a waste of my time in doing that review for the ones that I don't like. So like I said, I just try to promote the ones that I like.
That's smart. Yeah, there's no reason to tear down other people or burn bridges if you don't have to.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, if you can, whatever you're willing to share, tell the listener out there in the audience where you're from, how you grew up, whatever you're willing to share. Are you married? All that stuff. Just, something brief. You don't have to get into heavy detail, but just let them know who you are.
Definitely. Born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. Moved out to Pennsylvania. Well, got married, had a daughter, moved out to Pennsylvania. Everyone knows Baltimore schools, they aren't the best. So had to get up out of there for my daughter. So did that, and that's where we're staying right now. Me, my daughter, and my wife.
Okay, you're in the PA area then?
Yes.
Okay. The last interview I just did was with Callie's Groom Room, and his name is Dave Callie, and he's in the PA area as well.
All right, salute.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Okay, so here we are now. We're both here on this channel, and of course, this channel is all about fragrances. What kind of led you down that path of being a fragrance enthusiast?
Oh wow, I have to put that into my father's hands, because
okay.
I remember when I was younger, he would come in. He was into fragrances. He would splash on Lagerfeld. He would wear Brut. I mean, and when I mean splash on, he would splash on the Lagerfeld and the Brut. Him, and also I have to say my brother. I remember he used to get a lot of fragrances when we were younger. I used to sneak into his room, squirt a couple sprays on, roll out. People would say, "Oh man, Al, you smell good." Not knowing, they're my brother's fragrances, but he noticed, because he noticed the dents in his bottles later on.
That's funny. So when did you was there that moment where you turned around and all of a sudden you looked up and you had most people have 1 or 2 fragrances, and you looked up and you had 20, 30.
Oh, you know what? I started collecting, I'd say it was probably 2.5 years ago when I really got into it.
Okay.
So I'm particularly pretty new to the fragrance community. Like I said, 2 years in. So, I mean, I have maybe 130 bottles.
Okay.
But I'm relatively new.
We have that in common, because I'm a year in March. I've been doing YouTube for 7 months, but I was on Instagram for about a year, and so I haven't been if you hear any of my stories, I was just always that one guy. I tried to make I thought of a fragrance like Versace. We'll just take one like Mano Fraiche. I thought a fragrance like that was cream of the crop. I didn't even know there was anything called niche fragrances. And so I thought those were expensive. So I would try to make those last for a year until tax season. And then when I'd get my income tax, then I could buy another one and make that one last for a year. I never even thought about having multiple fragrances.
Yep. I totally agree with you on that one.
So this is all new for me. All right. So really about 2 years ago, you kind of got into the fragrance community?
Yes.
Okay. What did it start with? Did it start with Instagram, or did it start with YouTube first? Or
it started with IG first.
Okay, Instagram.
Then I had to get the courage enough to start a YouTube channel.
Yes.
You know, I started just on and off with YouTube. That's all.
Yeah.
So.
People don't realize what it takes to put yourself out there. It's not normal to just talk to your phone or your camera with no one on the other end, and plus the work that goes in.
Not only that, but you're putting this out for millions to see. I mean, millions might not watch it, but you're putting it out there for millions to see. So while you're making that video, sometimes you subconsciously kind of think about that. And you tend to say, wow, you know, I'm actually doing this. So, I mean, YouTube, it's a big thing.
Yeah. And the thing about it is a lot of us, not everybody, I know we're all different. A lot of us came because of, you know, maybe one influencer or a content creator, whatever your term of choice is. Like, was Jeremy in Dallas? Was there anyone particular that brought you over?
People who basically influenced me. Like I said, they're big and small. I don't really like throwing around the names too much because some people tend to get a little offensive when you forget about their name.
They do, don't they?
But yeah, I'm with the big and small. I mean, it doesn't matter how many followers, how many subscribers someone has. I'll look at them all.
I think the point I was trying to make is like when you first started watching them and you see how polished the bigger ones are, and then you start your video and all of a sudden you're like, I can't do that, you know, like, and then you start, that's my experience. And I start thinking, I get in my own head and I psych myself out. So that's where I was going with that. Like those big content creators got me inspired. And then some other things got me inspired to do it. But then when I start thinking about how good they are at it, I don't think about them doing it for 6-7 years. I just think about, you know, I got to be good right out of the gate or no one will watch. Right. Yeah.
But you know what? The reason why I actually started doing like the IG and the YouTube is because I'm an introverted person, and it's hard for people to believe that. But I mean, I hate being in crowds. I hate talking in front of people. But
that's interesting.
IG and this YouTube, it has helped me out drastically. It's funny because I'm a supervisor. I have like probably 80 people that work under me. I have to give a shift meeting each day, and it just helped me out quite a bit.
That's so interesting because I won't throw a name out there, but another reviewer that I was talking to said the same thing, and you would never guess it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
I'm starting to get that from a lot of people, and you know, I'm similar. Like I jumped on this as a challenge to my kids because I'm always preaching to my kids, Al, that you have to conquer your fears, you have to get uncomfortable, and that's the only way you can grow. And I'm telling them all this stuff, and I'm just, you know, staying comfortable and doing my thing. So I did this to inspire them, and it just started becoming fun. And I am growing. You know, I'm kind of a sensitive soul, and this interview is not about me, but you know, through the criticism and the feedback, sometimes I can get all bent out of shape, and so I'm trying to learn to develop a thicker skin and, you know, conquer my fears as well, like you, you know, being introverted. Yeah, so that's cool to hear that from you.
That's one thing. You definitely have to have some thick skin when you're on the YouTube.
yeah, because people love telling you that you're doing it wrong. So
yeah, definitely, until they get in front of the camera.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, I always go and see like I'll see that comment and then I'll go see if they have a channel. They don't even have one. And I'm like, So do you remember what it was that got you, that actually finally pushed you over the edge to inspire you to make the content? It had to be something.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It was myself.
Okay.
I finally just said, I just have to do it. I have to do it. I mean, I was so hesitant in doing it because I was afraid. Like I said, I'm naturally an introverted person. I don't want to hear people's bad feedback on what I'm saying, but I just said, forget about it. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And I kid you not, I have overcame that fear of being introverted that way.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that my favorite thing about you on Instagram is when you lip sync to the songs. I love that because when I scroll through the feed and I see that, it always puts a smile on my face. You know, even if I'm concentrating too hard or I'm having a bad day, I'm like, I stop and smile and I'm like, all right, it's gonna be all right. Everything's gonna be cool, you know. So that I like that. And
yeah, that's one thing that I try to do. I'm sorry. That's one thing that I try to do. I try to entertain people. That's what it's about, man. It's about love. It's about just hugging. It's about just loving one another. All this hate going around in this world is just not acceptable. Just totally not acceptable. So we got to lighten things up, make things fun for people.
And there's, you know, you can say the world is getting worse, but it's not an excuse to not try, you know, to not try to be a better person and affect somebody. Right. You definitely affect people. You got a very infectious personality. So well done with that.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, no, honestly, I mean, that's what inspired me to ask you, you know, to do this. So I felt like it would inspire somebody. So okay. So you kind of told me that you've been a fragrance enthusiast, you know, ever since, you know, kind of your brother, and you just recently, about 2 years ago, it really became more passionate for you. So no need for me to ask you that question because you kind of already addressed it. Now that you have 120, do you ever feel like this? I don't know if I'm saying this right. Do you ever feel this level of guilt, or do you ever feel embarrassed, or do you ever feel like it's something that you kind of have to hide from people, or how do you feel about that?
You know, me personally, I don't, because every fragrance that I have is one that I like. Okay. So I can't go in my fragrance collection and say I dislike a fragrance, because every single one of them I bought because I like them. And I kid you not, I wear every single one of them.
Okay, cool.
That's
awesome.
None of them are collecting any dust at all.
Now, do you, before you buy them, are you sampling decants, or are you just smelling them in stores, or?
I definitely sample. Before I was going just purchase it, but I sample a lot more now. And not only that, but now I know what I like as far as a note. I like my gourmands. I like the lemon. I like the bright nerolies. So I'll usually kind of pick up on that when I check out the fragrance. So, you know, those are the ones that I pick up.
We're similar because I just, for some reason, I keep complex fragrances. The ones that are weird just don't do it for me. I love the sweet gourmandish fragrances in the winter. And in the summertime, I love the freshies. And one of the things I think frustrates people about me, because I get it so much in my comment section on Instagram and YouTube, is everybody always wants to know, how long does it last? And I'm just like, I don't care. Like, I just like the scent. Yeah. And I think that frustrates people. So I try to give people what they want and let them know how long it lasts and all that, because they want it. But I don't care. If Nautica only lasts for an hour and a half, it doesn't matter. I like it. And I'll reapply it, and I'm an oversprayer. Anyway, there's some lady out there that has content, and she calls them, she says, don't be a sissy sprayer. I can't remember her name, but so I'm definitely not a sissy sprayer. But
oh no, me either.
I think her name's Curly Sense, or I don't know. But
yeah, so I'm talking about 120 sprays. That's what I throw down.
That's funny. Let's see here. What is your favorite part about being a content creator? You've touched on it a little bit already.
My favorite part is just in general, just making people feel happy.
Okay.
Putting good content out there and making people feel happy. That's what it's about for me. I mean, I'm not trying to jump through fire or anything like that for anyone, but I just want to let people know how a fragrance is. Do I like it? And that's about it.
Okay. Awesome. What's your least favorite thing about YouTube? Or not YouTube, well, maybe I should say, what's your least favorite thing about being a content creator? Because it's not just YouTube you do.
I'm being honest, I think it's all good.
Yeah.
I haven't had a really negative impact as far as being a content creator. So it's been all good for me. I mean,
I think that goes with your personality. You're a pretty positive person. You can see you're a glass half full.
I don't play into that negative stuff anyway. That's the thing I don't understand, why people always want to be negative, because it's a lot of energy into being negative. I mean, just push that to the side and just be a positive person. Like I say, and I always put this out there on my IG. If you ever read my comment on my IG, when I throw up my sin of the day, I'm gonna always throw out there, always love. And that's true. It's always love when it's coming from me.
That's awesome, man. I like that.
Yeah.
No sense in overextending yourself thinking about all the negativity, because there's enough of that anyways.
Yeah, not at all. Yep.
Do you think, I've heard this banded around, so it's just a question I want to ask. I've heard some people say that are doing the videos. I've heard big content creators say it. I've heard small content creators say that, being on Instagram or being on YouTube or any kind of content creator, that the fragrance community is starting to get oversaturated. Do you think there's still plenty of room for anybody who may be looking to be a content creator in the fragrance community?
Of course, it's always going to be room. Always. I don't care how many people we get in this community. It's going to always be enough room.
Yeah.
You know how many people in this world?
Mm-hmm.
So
exactly.
it's going to be enough.
Yeah, exactly. And every day people are born and the economy is not shrinking, but more than that, certain people have a point of view that, like I was saying at the beginning, that can be reached by you, that they may not be reached by anybody else, and so it's worth it for that. But also, why I think it's worth it is if you're passionate like you are and like I am, and you're just having fun, and like you said, it takes you away from this crazy world and gives you a little peace of mind and a little bit of fun. What's it matter if people come along for the ride? I mean, I know you want them to because you want to reach them, but if you're having fun and it takes your mind off everyday stress, do it anyways.
Yeah, totally. That's right.
Yeah. Yep. That's how I see it. Don't worry about the numbers. Just have fun.
Yeah, don't get caught up in the numbers game. Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're just going to put yourself in a miserable place that way, because you're going to try to compare yourself with this person, with that person.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, when can I reach this amount of numbers? When can I do this? If people are getting into the fragrance game for that, or any type of game over the social media, they're in it for the wrong reason.
Right.
You have to have like for it. You have to have love for it, and you have to want to do it.
And one of my favorite, and I know we talked about not dropping names, but one of my favorite content creators is Fragrance Fanatic Steve over at Kingdom Fragrance. Mm-hmm. And I like him because he's so genuine. And that was one of the things he told me right off the bat. He's like, Scott, be yourself and slow and steady. Just slow and steady and be yourself and have fun and don't worry about the other stuff. And so that's the one thing I've been trying to take to heart, is just not worrying about all the analytics. And, I do look at it because, like I told you, I'd be 100% lying to you to tell you if I didn't try to figure out how to be better to reach more people. But most of all, when everybody gives me this advice, you should stand versus sitting, or you should have this intro, or you should not have an intro. And people come into my feed all the time and tell me how to do all this stuff. And I'm like, man, I'm just having fun. Like, relax. I've only been doing this for 6 months, like chill. I don't have to be Jeremy Fragrance. I've only been doing it for 6 months. Like relax. It's going to be okay. I'm not worried about it. You shouldn't be worried about it.
I don't have to rip my shirt off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all good.
Power, strength. And I'm definitely not wearing a Speedo for nobody. I don't care how many views it would get me, which would be not many. All right. What's the best piece of advice you would want to give to somebody wanting to be a content creator?
Be yourself. Be honest with yourself. Make sure that it's something that you want to do. You don't want to sit up here and collect a bunch of fragrances knowing that you're just throwing your money away.
Yeah.
Just be honest with yourself, and just have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's not a numbers game. Have fun with it. Don't make it a second job.
Right. I know. Exactly. Now I know, so your personality is a little different than maybe everybody else's, but if you could step outside yourself for a minute, you don't get caught up in the negativity, but there are some people who are new, who are like me, maybe a little more sensitive or can't handle the negative comments. What is some piece of advice you might be able to give somebody on how to handle the negative comments that they receive in their feed and stuff like that?
Sometimes take criticism as a form of flattery. That's what I could say about that. I mean, a lot of people are just so jealous at you that they're going to say something negative about you.
Yeah.
Because your content is that good. People are going to hate on you. They're going to say, man, I have to find a way to break this person. He's doing too good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is flattery. It's a form of flattery.
And it's just realize it's all arts, whatever it is, music, actual artwork, movies, whatever, it's all subjective. And
that's right. Yeah.
One man's treasure is another man's garbage, and one man's garbage is another man's treasure. That's
right. But some people, they just don't get it.
They don't. It's interesting to me. It is really, that's all I'm going to say. That part of it is interesting that they don't, especially grown men. Yeah, I understand young people, but grown men that have been on earth for a little bit that don't understand. It's not just that too. There's variables. pH chemistry. Right. Did you get the same batch as I got? And so then people just want to fight with you, because like I said, it did well on my skin, and they're like, oh, it's trash. It only lasted 2 hours. And I'm like, that was your experience, not mine, so, but it's funny. It can be challenging. So, but it's like you said, just be chill with it and have fun. And the thing about it is what a lot of people don't realize, you actually want them to comment.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So they're actually doing you a favor, even if they insult you down there, because it helps you. The best thing they could do to hurt you is just scroll on by and not even comment. But they don't understand that.
Right. That's right. I think a lot of people too, because when they're looking at you, they're seeing that one person that's going to be talking to them at that time. Yeah. So they're taking everything that you say and they're feeling it in their head like, oh my good, this guy, he is true. This is the true person. This person is telling me the truth. Yeah. So yeah.
What is your, this is kind of the controversial question. So what is your stance on content creators making money? There's a lot of people out there getting their own fragrance, and I've seen a lot of posts over the last week about people getting mad. This person's a fake, or their followers aren't real, and this person just wants free bottles. There's so much, like you said, there's so many people concentrating on that right now. And I wanted to know what your stance was on making an income from this.
Any form of income that you can make off of this game, and I call it a game because some people, they take it that way. But if you can make money off of it, hey, go for it. I mean, it's like I said,
power to you.
I don't understand why people try to read into people's pockets. I don't understand that.
I think you and I are a lot more alike than we realize.
If you have that much animosity towards someone because they're making money or they're getting fragrances from someone, hey, build your channel up. Do whatever you have to do and make yourself better.
That's what you hit the nail on the head earlier. This is a hobby and it's kind of supposed to be fun, and I don't really take it seriously. And when I started engaging and jumping in and getting involved, I didn't realize how much people worry about other people. I don't know. Because I'm so naive to that. I don't care. Like like if Jeremy has a Ferrari, I'm just throwing his name out there because he's the biggest guy. Okay. Right. If he has a Ferrari and his own fragrances and he's doing well, great. Like there's a lot of pie out there for everybody. Great.
Exactly.
Like I don't know. I don't care. Like I don't care how he did it. I don't care if he says one day the fragrance is good and the next day it isn't. If you make as many videos as he does, he makes 3 or 4 a day, you're bound to misstep and say something stupid.
That's right.
I don't know, man. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. But I just focus on, like you, the fragrances I like. And a reviewer was telling me recently, this is how he does his reviews. If somebody sends him products, they usually send him more than one from that house. And what he does is, this reviewer told me, is that he lives with them for a week. And then if there's one he doesn't like, he doesn't review it. And the 2 or 3 he does like, or the one he likes, that's the one he reviews, and doesn't spend his time ripping the ones he doesn't like. He just focuses his energy on the one he does like.
Right.
And that's the best way to do it, just like you said.
Exactly. Yep.
And then instead of wasting all that negative energy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So someone counting your pockets. What kind of stuff is that? I mean, come on.
I see it all through the feed. I don't know if you ever see it on Instagram in the feeds, how worried people get about it. It's
do you know I've had someone DM me and tell me that I can't afford niche fragrances because I'm a designer head. Now,
really?
And I'm not even trying to throw out my income or anything like that.
No. I mean,
I couldn't believe that. I just couldn't believe that. What, you actually think I can't afford niche fragrances? Come on.
What's the point of that?
Exactly. I love designer. I'm a designer head at heart. That's where I'm at. Yeah.
I didn't even know niche fragrances existed until like 6 months ago. And that made me mad because I was like, it's like when you buy an Xbox and then Xbox 2 comes out. I was like, oh, why did they do that to me? You know, I just bought Xbox and you're putting 2 out. And it's like, okay, I was just getting into my designer fragrances and now they're telling me there's niche and luxury and independent and this one. And now my favorite fragrance content creators are putting out fragrances. I'm like,
you know, and it's nothing wrong with niche. Don't get me wrong. I like some niche houses. I mean,
sure.
Sarah, I love Sarah.
Oh my gosh, I do too. All right, so let's do a couple fun questions, and you actually answered one of my fun questions already. I was going to ask what's your favorite fragrances in your collection. So I'm assuming it's that 1 million Lucky.
1 million Lucky all the way.
Okay, so is it also the same if I were to ask you what's your favorite designer house? And if you can't pick one, 3 is fine.
You know what? My favorite designer house, I would say, is Versace.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's going to be Versace.
No, I love them too.
I think they make great fragrances for any occasion. Yes. Very versatile fragrances.
Yes. Just
got Dylan Blue a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how good that smelled. And the compliments that I get from it, oh my goodness. Wow.
It's so good. And it's versatile. You can wear it all year round, not at a certain time. Definitely. And I love that one, man. It's so good. So is Mancera, would it be safe to say Mancera is your favorite niche house, or is it somebody else?
I would have to go with Mancera. I have more bottles of Mancera than I do any other niche house.
How many do you have?
I have 6 Manceras.
Okay, I've only got 3. I need to try more for sure.
Yeah, like I said, you can't beat the price point for what you get.
Yeah, I got you.
Great house.
Yeah. So you don't really have a fragrance, a favorite fragrance content creator. Is that safe to say?
I don't. I mean, everyone to me inspires me. Like I said, it doesn't matter how many subscribers someone has, how many followers someone has. As long as I'm learning a little something from someone.
But no one you relate to the most.
Not really. No.
Okay. Other than fragrances, what other passions or hobbies do you have?
Oh, I sim race. That's a huge hobby of mine. I'm actually going to be racing this Saturday night at 10 o'clock.
Awesome.
And also I collect watches.
There you go.
I have some pretty expensive hobbies.
So, there you go. Nice. That's awesome, man.
Collect knives.
Yeah.
Let me see. What else do I collect? That's about it. My daughter, she's going away to college next year. All of my money will be going to her college. So that's
good. You must be proud.
Very proud. And we're just trying to have her graduate debt free. So she won't have to do anything. So she could just live her carefree life and go about her way.
Share with us the racing. What's one thing other than that people would be surprised to know about you? Kind of a surprising
about me.
Yeah.
People don't know this about me. I'm a lupus survivor. I'm a lupus warrior. That's what we call ourselves. We call ourselves lupus warriors because we defeat lupus. I mean, even though it's always with you throughout your entire life, you live with it and you're able to cope and do a good job at it. But I was diagnosed with lupus at the age of 25. I've been living with it for years. It's in remission right now. But one thing I won't let it defeat me. It's in remission right now.
What was that like when you got that news at 25?
Oh, wow. When I went to the hospital and they told me that, because I actually thought I had like a virus. I thought I was sick. I was lying in bed. I just stayed in. I slept. I would sleep for like maybe 18 hours, get up for 2 hours, and then go back to sleep and sleep another maybe 7 or 10 hours. And because I slept in the basement of my mom's house, they didn't really, and I had a door that I used to go out of, so they didn't really check on me down there. So that's why I just kept sleeping and sleeping. No one really checked on me. But then I started passing out. I told my mother about it. She said, we need to get you to the hospital. Took me to the hospital. They admitted me right away. Very scary, very scary.
Yeah. But you got through it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I feel like that God, he put me through that for a certain reason too, because I wasn't on the best track, of being a good person at that time.
I know.
But that definitely woke me up. Definitely.
Okay. So what do you attest to getting through it? Is just your faith and family?
I would say yes. I would say yes. And not only that, back then I didn't care if I died. And I don't even need me throwing this out, but I had an aunt, she would tell my mother, Al's not going to live past 18 years old. He's running those streets too hard. Like I said, I didn't care if I died, but that's why I appreciate life so much right now. Yeah. I mean, that's why I try to have so much fun right now. I mean, I had to learn.
No, I empathize with you because, and I've repeated myself in a few videos, but I don't care that I do because there's always somebody new watching that didn't see the old ones. But, I grew up in the projects in Cleveland and my mom died of homicide and I didn't have a father. And so I know when you say like where you could have been versus where you are today. And it's the same for me as, I could have been in those, those streets as well. And just doing all kinds of stupid stuff and being bitter and drinking and whatever. So I'm thankful to God that I was able to, have a family. That's my pride and joy. Like nothing else matters to me.
My salute to you. You're doing a hell of a job. Salute.
Yeah, same to you, man. I'm so glad you just shared this. Like, this means everything to me. So thank you. Because somebody needs to hear that, Everybody always thinks everybody's got it good, my life's the only one, we're the only ones that get crapped on, by the universe. And I think sometimes people get into that woe is me, not you, but I'm saying other people do, and they think they're the only ones that have it bad and don't realize that someone else is going through something. And
I kid you not, it was a point in time because with lupus, it scars your face up. I mean, your hair falls out. It was a point in time where I actually wanted to commit suicide at the age of 28 because I just didn't feel like that I could take it.
I get you.
So, good Lord, he blessed me. And like I said, I'm just all about having fun and sharing love with everyone.
I can see why.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough.
No, I've had those thoughts too, because I've never met my father, and my mother was gone, and then I was adopted into an abusive situation, and I just thought I was being, when you're a kid, you have those magnifying glasses and you shine it on the ants and try to burn them up or whatever. I always thought I was that guy that God was holding the magnifying glass on and was just messing with me, and so that there was times in my life where I just wanted to, be done with it all. And I had that big hole in my heart, and there was nothing that could fill it except for me. I'm just talking about me. I can't, talk for everyone else, but it was my faith that filled that hole. And then my family. And now I've been blessed with an amazing wife, and my kids are my everything. So
that's it. Yeah. Excellent. That's it.
Yeah. So I'm proud of you. That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yep. Okay. So you in some of the questions, when you expound on the questions, you've answered a few of my questions I've already wanted to ask, but I was going to ask you how many fragrances were in your collection, but you already told us it was 120. So that we've got that one out of the way. And you've already answered this question. I was going to ask you what your scent of the day was, but we know that it's Zaharoff Signature Pour Homme, which is
that's the of the day.
Which is a good one.
That's right. Yep. Exactly.
What's your favorite movie?
You know what? I don't really look at movies.
No?
My attention span, I think this doesn't have it for movies. I mean,
second person.
I can go to the movies with my wife and I can fall asleep.
Okay. All right.
I'd rather look at YouTube than any movie.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So just not, there's never been one that's really impacted you then.
I would have to say I used to like some of the Terminator movies.
Okay. That's cool.
No, you know what I do have? As far as a favorite movie, I think it was Rambo, the first one.
Yeah, I love that movie.
The first one. Yeah. So that action-packed. Couldn't fall asleep in that one.
What about music? I know now you can't fool me about the music. I know you like music.
With music, I listen to everything. I listen to rock and roll. I listen to country. I listen to rap. I listen to classical.
Yeah, me too.
I listen to everything.
Me too.
And you know what? I think music is for the soul. If you have the right song, it will definitely uplift you.
Yes, for sure.
That's why I'm so huge into music. I think it's because of my past experiences as to why I listen to music.
I'm so glad to know that about you. It really, I love that. It's awesome. He was over here wanting to say hi. So
you ready for the Easy Funny?
Yeah.
He's so excited.
Right. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Tell him your name.
My name's Adam.
Adam, how you doing? You have to go to bed early tonight, right?
That's what he's been saying. I can't believe it. He's been telling me that. I was like, yeah, go to bed early so me and Mom can have some alone time. That doesn't happen very often.
Oh, right. That's good. That's good.
But he's been over here on the sidelines wanting to say hi. So, and my other son, his name is Brooks, and he's 3, and he's running around here somewhere. And then my daughter, she's 16. Her name's Jessica. She's hanging out. Yeah, she's a blessing. So she's amazing. They all are. Okay. So you like all kinds of music. I guess I'm at the last question. I was just wanting to know, is there anything that you wanted to promote or talk about or make people aware about YouTube or Instagram or anything? It doesn't have to be those things at all.
Well, on a serious note, with all of this hate going around, I mean, like I said, people don't have time for this. Show one another respect, love. Your opinion is your opinion. You don't have to try to force it on someone. So just keep it to yourself and move on. We have to make this world, man, a better place. And it starts with us as individuals.
Yeah. It's probably a stupid analogy, but you have hygiene for yourself, but you also have hygiene because you care about others around you. And I don't understand why they can't use that same level of care with how they treat people. And we need more of that, you know, we need more.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. And it only starts with one person, you know, so you can make a difference. You throw that little rock in the pond, and it makes a ripple, and it gets bigger and bigger and longer. And so we can all do our part. And I love your energy. I love your enthusiasm. It's been my honor to talk to you and to meet you. And I'm sorry to take you away from your wife and kids just for a short amount of time. And
hey, Scott, man, I just want to say thank you. And remember, I'm a fan of yours. So I'm honored that you even thought about me. Thank you.
Oh, no, there's no way you were not getting that DM from me on Instagram about this. I don't ever know who's going to say no or yes, but you know, at least I did my part and sent it. So yeah, there's certain people that get this one, that get that DM, and you were on the list. So I'm so glad you answered and accepted the challenge and the call. And you know, there's been some gems in here that I think people need to hear, and I think it's going to help them, and it's definitely helped me. So if anything, it helped me. So
all right.
God bless you, my friend. Happy Easter to you and your family. And I look forward to many more of our interactions down the road. And guys, go and support our good friend Al here. You know his channel. It's AR1minute Fragrance Reviews.
Yes, it is.
Okay.